people stop having kids. The consequences are huge: population decline, fewer people to fuel the economy, and thousands of elderly people who need care without enough young people to support them. But what are the core reasons why people stop having kids? And why some of them might be just stereotypes? In this video, I'd like to share with you my observations about topic around kids. Before actually having a kid, you need a partner you would want to have a child with, right? And we hear it all the time that dating is so hard these days. But is it really? My husband and I, we've been together for over 12 years, and he is my first and the only partner I've ever had. And before we got together, he chased me for around a year. Frankly speaking, it felt really nice when someone was willing to put so much energy, time, and efforts into just winning me over. It made me feel valued by another person so much. When I share this story with other girls, many of them tell me, I wish someone would chase me like that. I wish someone would value me like that. And in my opinion, this is something that people are lacking these days. Modern dating has changed a lot. With the dating apps, people have become just a commodity. You scroll through hundreds of faces, swipe right or left based on a quick glance, just by looking at the picture of a person who could just made up this picture, or enhance this picture in any app. You can do that in one click. And even if you go on a date with someone, on the first moment when you spot a flaw, you might get that thought in your head, I could find someone better. And this constant chase for a perfection, which is fueled by limitless choices on dating apps, makes it harder to settle down. You're always in a chase of some kind of perfection, someone prettier, someone more successful, funnier, or like whatsoever you are looking for. But there is no perfection. There will be always some flaws in any person. In my opinion, it would be too boring to have a perfect partner. Sometimes we need any arguments, discussions, things we disagree with, and through discussions, through conversations, we can find solutions, maybe even change our perceptions and look at things. This is how people evolve, develop, and grow. Otherwise, you can get stagnant. My advice would be pretty simple. Remove dating apps and get yourself out to a real world. When you interact with people in person, you can see what they're up to. You can feel, you can hear their voice. You can see their body language. It's a way more harder to wear any kind of masks or pretend by being someone else when you are interact face to face with the person. While you are texting with someone, you can be someone else. You can pretend to be someone else, and it's difficult to spot that you are lying or pretending because you are just texting. There is no voice, there is no body language, no eyes, no anything else that can tell you that it's actually not true and this is not how a person acts in the real world. By interacting with someone, you can easily say whether words and actions go align with each other. Meet people through friends, through hobbies, through other activities, maybe through something you have never experienced before. Maybe you had a desire to learn how to play guitar when you were a child, but you really didn't have a chance to do so. This is a time to go and learn a new experience, but also surround yourself with the people you might have something in common. So at least you would have some topic to talk about, to enjoy, to learn something new. And even if you do not find your partner within 1 or 3 months by doing some extra activities, you would still diversify and enjoy this time and would socialize a little bit more. That would make you feel incredible. The main takeaway: remove dating apps and get yourself out into this real world. So now when you found a partner you want to be with and you probably got married already, it's time to do the next step. But there is always but. How often do we hear, yes, I want to have children, but first I need to earn more money, I need to build my career, I need to own a house, and all of that stuff. On the surface, that may seem like solid reasons to postpone having children. But are they really? Let's compare two scenarios to get a better perspective of what I'm talking about. Imagine a child born into a wealthy family. From an early age, they have everything: a beautiful home, the nice toys, luxurious vacations. And for them, it feels like completely normal to live like that. But there is a potential downside. When everything is readily available for a child, the child might not fully grasp the value of all those things. They may not understand the hard work and efforts put into earning this wealth. For them, it's just normal to have all of this. And this can create a mindset when a person takes everything for granted. When I studied at school, I had one classmate, a girl. She came from a richer family, and she always had the latest smartphone, the fanciest clothes, and all of that stuff. And I remember how she got pocket money all the time by just getting the highest mark on the drawing something, lesson when you draw pictures, but that was just a drawing. And I was thinking to myself, damn, I'm getting highest marks in math or physics, but I never get pocket money just because I'm getting these highest marks. It wasn't like the way parents praised us. But for her, that was normal. And I remember how she wasted money on the left or right, bought like some stupid things, sweets or whatsoever. And there was feeling like she didn't even understand the value of those money. I'm not saying that it will definitely happen with any child who is born in a wealthy family, but some kids, they unfortunately grow without concepts of attitude, gratitude, and appreciation. Now let's take a look at a different scenario where a child is born in a middle-class family where both parents work. After a child is born, one parent stays at home with the kid, and the family income takes a hit. Does this stop parents to want the best for their child? Not. Absolutely not. Instead of using their child as an excuse to limit their growth, they might take their child as an ultimate motivation. So they can start looking for side hustles, they can start looking for opportunities to get a promotion, they can start looking for ways how to invest money wisely. The key sauce here is to take your child as a motivation, not as an excuse. When my first child was born, my husband and I, we lived in a tiny 20 square apartments. For two adults, that was completely normal. We worked 9 to 5, we just spent their nights and evenings. For us, that was normal. But when our daughter arrived, that cozy, comfortable apartment stopped being cozy and comfortable. We really lacked place. We needed more space for three people already. And instead of blaming our child, blaming the government or the circumstances we lived in, not having the big apartment, right? And we started doing brainstorm, we just sat and said like, okay, we are living in a place where we do not feel comfortable now, so let's do something about it. And we started looking for ways how we can get the second mortgage, what we can do with our first mortgage. And I reached out my really rich distant relative who helped us to pay it off our first mortgage. We managed to sell our apartment and take another apartment and pay off the money we borrowed from my relative. But anyhow, we found the way to get a larger place and to feel comfortable. And I hear it pretty often how people use their children as an excuses not to succeed in their lives because they are too busy with the kids. They cannot afford that because they spend so much time and money on the children. But why they cannot turn it around and use their children as the biggest motivation in their life, that they want to create the best life for their kids? Having a child is really tough. But what you get from kids as a reward, their love, their care, and the way they teach you some things, this is actually absolutely worth it. So the main takeaway here, your child can be your biggest motivation, not an excuse. Now let's talk about something even more fundamental. Now when you got a kid, you might get overwhelmed to how you raise your kid. So you can get overwhelmed with lots of trainings, lessons for parents, programs, activities. You want your child learn 5 languages, dance, draw, sing, swim, whatsoever. You want everything for your child. You want the best. But let's focus on basics. As a parents, we all want the best for our children. We want them to be healthy, to be happy, to be successful in whatever they choose to do in life. The secret sauce here, kids learn by watching us. We can't just tell them what to do. We need to show them. Now think about it. If you want your child to be healthy, are you making those healthy choices for yourself? If you want your child to be active, being strong and in shape, are you staying active and in a good physical shape yourself? If you want your child to be happy, are you happy yourself? My daughter is 7, she will turn 8 soon, and sometimes I get fascinated how she looks at me, the way she looks at me with such an admiration, and it literally feels like she absorbing everything I do, the way I take care of myself, the way I speak to people, the way I treat other people, and all that little things she's literally soaking up as a sponge. And then sometime I can see how she implemented those things into her life. Once our children stayed with a babysitter at home, and the babysitter sent us a short video where my daughter was explaining the importance of eating healthy, fresh fruits and vegetables and all of that. That was pleasant to see that all the things I do about healthy eating, making healthy choices for yourself, she absorbing it not only by listening what I'm saying, but also by watching at what I do. Anytime I serve a meal, I serve vegetables for my family as well, fresh vegetables. I will not lie to you that they're so love eating it. They don't. But I do still serve it, and I emphasize the importance of eating it and try to cook it in a way they would love it to eat. It's mostly time just fresh vegetables. Anyhow, I give my example and provide the example and things what I do believe in, not only by saying but also by showing it, and my words go along with my actions I do. If I say that eating healthy fruits and vegetables is very important and good for your health, but I would eat instead fries or burgers or whatsoever, drink cola, let's say, all the time, I don't think that my kids would believe me, because the way what I say and what I do, it wouldn't go align together. So this is really important to understand, to give that example to kids. And it also feels super inspiring to understand that you are like an idol for your kids, and you will be an idol, especially for small children when they are like from 0 to 3 or 4. Children, they look at their parents like on idols. They absolutely admire them and look up to them. You provide initial template for children how they need to live, how they should live, what is right and what is wrong. And if your words and your actions don't go aligned with each other, don't assume your children would listen to you. The main takeaway: raising kids becomes easier when you take responsibility about your life and about choices you make in your life. Whether it's about having a kid, building a family, or finding a partner, we often bogged down by excuses and distractions. But when you dig down a little bit deeper, you would realize that a secret to happiness is just taking responsibility about your own life, making choices aligned with your values, and being willing to step out of your comfort zone. I do believe that life is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Kids can be your greatest motivation, and partners are easier to find when you interact with the real world around you. And you know, life has a funny way to reward those who take responsibility about their life. So let's stop making excuses and do live a happy life. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I would love to read your comments, your opinion, and your experience in life. Thanks for watching this video. Be safe and sound. See ya.